Hello everyone, this is Varshini. I'm excited to present our project MoneyMate, a personal finance tracker developed as part of our DBMS course project. This is a collaborative effort by me and along with my teammates Reeta and Harini. Over time, it becomes difficult to keep track of where our money is going, how much you have saved, how much you are spending. That's exactly why we built MoneyMate. It's a Flask-based web application built over relational database MySQL where users can record their income, expenses, and categorize their transactions, and most importantly, they can manage both personal and group finances effortlessly. With features like automatic expense splitting, data visualizations, and secure login, MoneyMate aims to take the stress out of financial management and give users full control over their money. Our frontend is developed using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Chart.js, and on our backend, we used Python Flask as our main web framework, and the database we used SQLite during the development and MySQL in the production. And let's move into the heart of our project, database structure. Our system uses 6 main tables to manage all the users and financial data efficiently. So let's get into each individual table now. User table. This stores user details and handles login and authentication. It has user ID as its primary key, and it stores username, name of the user, email, and password in the hash form. It also has optional attributes like UPI ID and phone number of the user. Transaction table. It captures individual income or expense transactions. It has transaction ID as its primary key, and amount, type, description, category are the attributes. And user ID is a foreign key referencing from the user ID of the user table. And group table. It is used to manage shared expense groups like travel or roommate expenses. It has group ID as its primary key and name, that is name of the group, and description, and created it is a timestamp, and created by is a foreign key referencing from the user ID of the user table. And group member table. It tracks which user belongs to which groups. It has member ID as its primary key, and group ID and user ID are the foreign keys. Joined it is a timestamp, and isAdmin is a boolean. It indicates whether user is an admin or not. Group expense table. It stores the expenses added within the groups. It has expense ID as its primary key, and group ID and paid by are the foreign keys, and amount, description, category, date are the attributes, and split equally is a boolean. It indicates whether the expense is split equally or not. The expense can be split unequally also. So this is expense split table. It handles splitting of each group expense among the members. Split ID is a primary key, and expense ID and user ID are the foreign keys, and amount is a user that is supposed to pay, and is paid is a boolean indicating whether the user has already paid the money or not. These are all the tables, and this is how we implemented in the code. User table, transaction table, group member table, group expense table, and expenses split table. Uh, let's now check the working of the website.
Now, let's see how this website works. In the home page, we have options like add transaction, split bill, create group, and view statistics. We also have an option where we can see the upcoming settlements. In the statistics page, we can see the total balance, the amount incoming, and the amount outgoing. We can also see on which category we are spending most of our money on. We also have the monthly trends and recent transactions. In the transactions page, we can see all our past transactions. We can add a transaction, and we can also edit an existing transaction. On clicking on edit, we can either change this information or else we can delete the transaction. Now let's add a transaction. add. As we can see, our recent transaction is added into the transactions list. We can also filter these transactions by category. Now we can see the transactions where the category is food. We can also filter these according to their type, like incoming or outgoing. Say we want to see the outgoing transactions. Now we can see only the outgoing transactions. You can also sort these transactions by date. So this is the transactions page. Now let's see how the splitter page works. Say we have a bill of 1500 and this bill is shared by 3 people. And these are the amounts paid by each of these people. And if we calculate the split, we can see that amount per person is 500, and we can also see the settlements, like who owes whom how much. Now let's see the functionality of the groups page. Here we can create a new group as follows, but I have already created a group, so I'll be using that. Let's add the first expense. 800. Say shopping. We can either split the bill equally among all the members, or else we have an option of custom split. So we'll be using the option of custom split here. Here you can add whom should pay how much money. Say this is the money spent by each person, but all of the money is paid by a single person. So let's add this expense. So here it's showing that it's paid by Ron, but these are the amounts that Ron should get back. So we can see in the settlements that Hermione owes 400 rupees to Ron and Harry owes 200 rupees to Ron. So if I click on settle up, these things will be considered as paid. But now let's just log out and log in from another user and see how this groups page is working for them. As you can see, it's showing in the upcoming settlements page. So if you click on settle now, it will be considered as paid. And if you see in the groups thing, in viewing group 2, here we can see that Harry has paid and Ron has also paid. So even in the settlement session, if you click on settle up, so everything is settled up. So this is how the group page works. Now let's see the profile page. So this is the profile page. Here the user information like UPI ID, email ID, username, everything will be stored, and there's an option of change password and a logout option. and here we can see the tables which are present in the database. Here we click on user table, we can see the user information like their name, email ID, etc. And if we click on transactions table, we can see the amount, type, description, category, everything at once. So this is how our website works. All the information is stored in the database, and whatever changes which we have done here will be reflected in the database also. Thank you everyone.